I hope this screen is visible to you. Is it visible to you? Screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we are in the third unit, that is the strength of concrete. Today's topic for the discussion or the topics which I'm going to explain you today are modulus of elasticity, Poisson's ratio, and testing of hardness of a concrete. Okay, wait a minute. So these are the topics which I am going to explain you today. The learning outcomes are you will able to understand what is modulus of elasticity. Then you will get to know about the Poisson's ratio, the value of Poisson's ratio, which is related to concrete, modulus of elasticity, that is again related to the metals or materials also, because you have studied the modulus of elasticity, which is related to the steel and that to the strength of material, and you might have the value of it, that is Young's modulus, or you can say the modulus of elasticity, the standard value of modulus of elasticity. You may be knowing that. Uh, but I'm going to explain you related to the modulus of elasticity with concrete. Then the third learning outcomes of today's session is test on hard concrete. Okay, so testing of hardness of concrete, that is the third learning outcomes of this particular session. Here, today you will basically get to know about the modulus of elasticity and Poisson's ratio. I have just added one slide which is related to the testing of a hardness of a concrete. The most of the means 99% of the part of the hardness of concrete that I will cover in the next class. Okay, because it consists of a various tests. I will tell you how many tests are there. Okay, the contents of today's session are modulus of elasticity, then Poisson's ratio, and hardness of concrete. So introduction. I don't think so. There is any point of introduction related to the concrete, because from the last maybe couple of months, I'm every day I'm telling you the cement and concrete and all, because if your ingredients are good, your quality of concrete will be very good. If you make a good quality of concrete, your structure will stand for a large duration without any problem. Without any problem is without any problem of deterioration, without any problem of a shrinkage and cracking. And you can analyze your structure properties. It may be of a hardness, it may be of a strength. It in the fresh state and also in the hardness test. There are so many sophisticated materials are available, instruments are available where you can have it to check the strength parameters. Now, modulus of elasticity. So, modulus of elasticity, it can be defined as the ratio of the stress to the corresponding strain. Okay, so the ratio of the stress applied to a body to the strain that result in the body is the response to it. In short, mathematically it is defined as the modulus of elasticity. The symbol of modulus of elasticity, or it is denoted by capital E. Modulus of elasticity is denoted by, or it is represented by capital E, and it can be defined as the ratio of the stress to the corresponding strain. Stress is represented by the symbol sigma, and strain is represented by the symbol small e. Which symbol you have used to represent the stress in the strength of material? Anybody can unmute and speak up. Which symbol you have used to represent the stress while studying the stress and strain, that to in the strength of material? सिग्मा ही यूज किया है आपने या और कोई या स्मॉल पी?
Yes, sir. Sigma.
Okay, thank you. So the ratio of the stress to the corresponding strain, that can be defined as the modulus of elasticity. Modulus of elasticity, mathematically it is given as the capital E is equal to sigma upon small e, where sigma is nothing but the stress and the small e is nothing but the strain. Now you tell me about the definition of a stress, because in the strength of material, the very first unit is related to the stress and strain. So you tell me the definition of stress. You reply me in a chat box. Yeah. How you will define stress? How you will define stress? Quickly. Force per unit area. Any other? What is the definition of a stress? Now almost 2 months are passed. Your session has started, and at this moment or at this junction, if you do not know the definition of a stress, then something is wrong with you. Okay, because again, as far as strength of material is concerned, you have to use this term stress again and again and again and again, because everywhere there is a stress in the material. If you consider any of the structure, okay, आपका जो स्ट्रेस एंड स्ट्रेन में भी पढ़ा होगा, देन मॉड्यूलस ऑफ इलास्टिसिटी में भी पढ़ा होगा, कंपोजिट स्ट्रक्चर में भी स्ट्रेस एंड स्ट्रेन पढ़ा होगा, देन आपका जो प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेस एंड स्ट्रेन है वहां पे भी आपने स्ट्रेस एंड स्ट्रेन पढ़ा होगा. सो यू शुड नो द डेफिनेशन ऑफ ए स्ट्रेस. So what is stress? Force per unit area. Any other definition of stress? It is the internal resisting force per unit cross-sectional area. Very good. Any other? Very good, Chaitanya. Any other definition? What is the unit of stress? Or whether the stress is unitless quantity? The force of resistance per unit area offered by the body. Again, the deformation is known as the stress. Very good, Ayush. Stress is defined as the first force per unit cross-sectional area. The force of resistance offered by a body per unit area. That is the definition of a stress. Okay, per unit area. That word is very, very important. Force of resistance offered by the body against the deformation. Okay, against the deformation. That is again important. Okay, Newton per mm square. Yes, that is the unit of a stress. MPa. Newton per mm square or MPa or GPa. I will ask you what is this MPa and GPa later, because that is again the part of our today's topic. Pascal, yes, that is again the unit. Pascal or Newton per mm square, you can use that 2 units. Okay, thank you. I'm starting the presentation once again. Yeah, stress can be defined as the force of resistance offered by the body per unit area. Okay, so that is the definition of a stress, whereas the strain can be defined as the ratio of change in dimension to the original dimension. That is the strain, and strain is a unitless quantity. Okay, stress, the unit of stress is Newton per mm square, whereas the strain is a unitless quantity. Strain is a unitless quantity because it is the ratio of the same quantity. It may be of a length by length. The length is in the mm. Okay, length is in the mm, or it may be in a centimeter, or it may be in a meter. So strain is a unitless quantity because it is the ratio of the same quantity. Strain can be defined as the change in dimension to the original dimension. You cannot say that the change in length to the original length, or change in width to the original width, or change in depth to the original depth. You cannot say like that. Okay, so strain can be defined as the ratio of the change in dimension to the original dimension. Okay, and it is unitless quantity because it is the ratio of the same quantity. So the modulus of elasticity of a material, it is the measure. Okay, it is the measure of the stiffness. Okay, it is the measure of the stiffness. Now you tell me what is the stiffness? You tell me what is the stiffness? आपने पढ़ा है स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल में स्टिफनेस क्या होता है? Have you studied the stiffness? Have you studied the stiffness? Have you studied the stiffness? You reply me in a chat box, yes or no. Yeah, stiffness पढ़ा है आपने? Do not bend easily.
Stiffness is the property of material by which it resists the deformation.
Resistance of an elastic body which opposes the deformation. Yes. Any other answer? Any other answer of stiffness? Stiffness can be defined as the resistance of an elastic body to deflection or deformation by the applied force. Okay, let us consider an example of a spring. Okay, so आपका जो स्प्रिंग रहता है, जो पेन रहता है, टिचुक टिचुक वाला पेन, उसमें अगर उस आप छोटी सी जो स्प्रिंग रहती है, आप स्प्रिंग निकालते हो, so when you hold the spring, okay, and when you try to compress it, okay, so every material is having their own strength, even the chalk piece too, as the chalk piece is very light in weight, but still the chalk piece is having the strength. If you consider the example of a spring, then when you hold the spring and when you try to push the spring, okay, so when you apply the force, the spring try to oppose that particular force. So that stiffness is nothing but the resistance of an elastic body. Okay, stiffness can be defined as the resistance of an elastic body to deflection or deformation by the applied force. So when you hold the spring, whatever the when you apply the force from both this direction, that is from this and from this direction, when you compress it, so whatever the compress, that जो उसमें compress जो होता है, that is nothing but the stiffness. Okay, so modulus of elasticity of a material, it is a measure of its stiffness, and for most of the material remains constant over a range of stress. Okay, then that is related. This particular slide is related to the history, or you can say the how the modulus of elasticity comes in the picture. A modulus of elasticity is also called as Young's modulus. Okay, so Young's modulus, the name is given as the Young's modulus after the scientist name. That scientist was Thomas Young. Okay, who he belonged to the 19th century, a British was a British scientist, and the concept of modulus of elasticity was already developed in the 1727 by Leonhard Euler. Okay, so you might have studied this Euler formula, or आपने पढ़ा है क्या Euler's formula? Euler's formula, or sometimes it is also called as Euler's formula. पढ़ा है या नहीं पढ़ा है? नहीं पढ़ा है तो आप you will get to know about this Euler's formula in the strength of a material, because this particular part, that is modulus of elasticity, is more related to the metal. Okay, that is steel rather than a concrete. So Thomas Young, he has given his name to this particular invention, which was developed by the Euler in the year 1727, and the first experiment that was used, the concept of Young's modulus in its current form were performed by the Italian scientist. Okay, Italian scientist Riccati in the year 1782. Okay, so the Euler's formula, or you can say the concept of Young's modulus, was developed in the year 1727, whereas the first experiment was conducted in the year 1782. Okay, predating the work of Young's. Okay, whatever the work was conducted by the Young. Okay, so that work, that experiment was conducted, and the term modulus is the Latin word, right? Modulus is the Latin word. Modus means nothing but the measure. Modus means measure. So you can remember this things, that is a 19th century British scientist Thomas Young. Then Euler was the first person who has developed that concept of Young's model, developed the concept of a modulus of elasticity, whereas that name was given as a Young's modulus after the scientist name, that is a Thomas Young, and he has given the name in the year 19th century, or in the 19th century he has given his name. Okay, year was not specified. Then, so this is the stress strain curve. Have you studied this stress strain curve? Have you studied this stress strain curve? Okay, once again we'll go to the chat box. Okay, so you tell me about this stress strain curve. It is related to which material? This stress strain curve is related to which material? Steel, concrete, wood, or composite section? Which material? This stress strain curve is related to which material? Steel. Okay, steel, again it is of a different type, mild steel and torque steel. Again HYSD bar 2. So can you specify? whether it is a mild steel or torus steel. So I hope you know the difference between the mild steel and torus steel. Okay, if I consider this pen is having the smooth surface. Okay, this pen is having the smooth surface. When the steel is there and the steel is having the smooth surface, so that steel is called as a mild steel. Mild steel, and again there is a torus steel. Torus steel is there. Torus steel में क्या रहेगा कि आपका जो steel रहेगा, this is your steel, and when the steel consists of a this kind of a arrangement, यानी कि grooves रहते हैं, ठीक है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, आप थोड़ा imagine भी करो आप थोड़ा, okay, like this kind of a grooves are there, यानी कि जो surface रहता है ना उसका steel का, वो थोड़ा rough रहता है, so that steel is called as a torus steel. HYSD bars are also available in the market. HYSD, that is nothing but the high yield strength deformed bars. High yield strength deformed bars are available in the market, which are used for generally heavy loaded construction. So this is the stress strain curve for a mild steel specimen. Within the elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to strain. Within the elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to the strain. So this is the limit of elasticity from point O to point A, and in this particular part, the nature of the curve is a straight line. Okay, nature of the curve is a straight line. So it is a linear. Within the elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to the strain. So it is a linear. And from point A, point O is called as a starting point. Point A is called as the limit of proportionality. Point B is called as the elastic limit. Point C is called as the yield point. Point D is called as the ultimate stress point. And point E is called as a point of failure or point of breaking or point of rupture or point of fracture. चार नाम है इसको. Point E को fracture, rupture, breaking, whatever you can call, right? So Young's modulus can be defined as the ratio of the stress to the corresponding strain. So this is the stress strain curve which is related to the mild steel specimen. Now here the beauty of this particular curve is that from point O to point A, it is linear. Okay, from point A up to the point E there is some variation, but from point O to point A there is a straight line. Straight line is nothing but the linearity. Within the elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to strain. Means यानी कि stress का जितना वैल्यू बढ़ेगा उतना ही strain का वैल्यू भी बढ़ेगा. So that is the meaning of linearity. Beyond the point A there is some variation. So there is a zigzag or there is a curve. So that is related to the steel. Why it is so? Because steel is a very steel is a ductile metal, whereas the concrete is a brittle material, and this curve is related to the ductile material. Ductile material आप अगर steel का लेते हो तो बहुत आपको पहले फोर्स अप्लाई करना पड़ता है, तो उसके बाद ही उसमें इलोंगेशन आएगा या फिर उसका जो लेंथ है ये फिर चेंज होगा. अदरवाइज अगर सिंपली इफ यू वांट टू पुल इट द स्टील बार, दैट विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल. आप कितना भी खींचो उसको, कितना भी खींचो, लेकिन उसमें कोई डिफॉर्मेशन नहीं होगा unless you set that particular specimen on a machine that is a UTM. Okay, so that is linear, यानी कि जितना स्ट्रेस का वैल्यू बढ़ेगा उतना ही स्ट्रेन का वैल्यू बढ़ेगा, लेकिन उसके बाद वो चेंज होता है. Now this is the stress strain curve which is related to the concrete. Okay, this is the stress strain curve which is related to the concrete. Here on the y-axis I have here the value of stress is plotted. The stress is represented by the small e, whereas sigma, whereas on the x-axis there is a strain. Okay, now here you can see the nature. It is not linear. Okay, it is not linear. It is consist of only two limit, elastic limit and inelastic limit, or you can say the two zones, elastic zone and inelastic zone. But in stress strain curve which is related to the steel, it consists of four zones. This is first zone, second zone, third zone and fourth zone. Okay, I will not go to the various zones in detail. That is the first zone, second zone, third zone and fourth zone. उस जोन के अलग अलग वैल्यू भी है, उसके अलग अलग नाम भी है. Sorry. Here on the y-axis I have plotted the value of strain and stress, and this is in the strain. Now when you load a brittle material, okay, when you load a brittle material on the compression testing machine, this graph is obtained after performing the tension test on a mild steel specimen. Okay, this graph is obtained after performing the compression test Okay, compression test on a concrete block having the dimension of a 15 by 15 by 15. Now here we can see that this is the starting point. Okay, this is the starting point. The moment you start applying the load, it will not show you the linearity. It will directly show you this graph. It will directly show you the, means you will get the value. Okay, you will get the value which is varying. You will get the value which is varying. But in case of the steel, there is some constant limit. There is some constant value. That's why the within the elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to strain. दैट इज लीनियरिटी. यहाँ पे आपको लीनियरिटी देखने को नहीं मिलेगा अगर आप कंप्रेशन स्ट्रेंथ परफॉर्म भी करते हो, दैट टू कॉन्क्रीट ब्लॉक, यू विल नॉट फाइंड एनी लीनियरिटी. द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट अप्लाइंग द लोड, ठीक है, द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट अप्लाइंग द लोड, उसका जो रीडिंग्स है ना वो फ्लक्चुएट होना शुरू हो जाएगा. उसका जो रीडिंग्स है वो फ्लक्चुएट होना शुरू हो जाएगा. दैट्स व्हाई we get this kind of a curve, stress strain curve for a concrete. So this is the elastic range, and from this particular point you will find that inelastic range. इलास्टिक रेंज में क्या होता है कि वहां पे जो लाइन रहती है वो स्ट्रेस ऑन स्ट्रेन में थोड़ा हम लीनियरिटी कह सकते हैं, बट स्टिल वी विल नॉट गेट द लीनियरिटी. ओके, देन जैसे 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 फोर्स बढ़ता है वैसे वैसे जो इलास्टिक रेंज है इलास्टिक रेंज के बाहर आते जाता है. यानी कि क्या होता है कि जैसे जैसे आप कंप्रेसिव लोड अप्लाई करते हो कंक्रीट ब्लॉक के ऊपर, वैसे उसका वैल्यू है ना फ्लक्चुएट होना बहुत बहुत फास्टली फ्लक्चुएट होना शुरू हो जाता है. यहां तक हम उसको कह सकते हैं कि दैट इज इन द इलास्टिक रेंज, बट बियॉन्ड दैट इज इन इलास्टिक रेंज. वी डोंट नो व्हेन इट फेल्स. Okay, we don't know when it fails, but we know that if we prepare the concrete for M25 grade or M20 grade or M35 grade or M45 grade, so according to that grade we can get the value. Okay, so this is the permanent part, means that is nothing but the elastic range, and after the elastic range there is an inelastic deformation starts. ओके, इन द पर्टिकुलर मटेरियल. जो मटेरियल रहता है वो ब्रेक होना स्टार्ट रहता है. ब्रेक होने के पहले वो क्रैक आएगा, नॉट डायरेक्टली ब्रेक. बिफोर दैट इट विल शो यू द फेलियर पैटर्न, यानी कि उसमें क्रैक थोड़ा 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 दिखने जाएगा. एंड दैट जैसे ही वो क्रैक डेवलप होगा, द मशीन विल गिव यू द बीप. बीप का इंडिकेशन होता है कि वो फेल हो चुका है. आपको पूरा फेल होने तक वेट नहीं करना है. जैसे कि अगर आप घर पे भी आप देखते हो कि अगर एक आधी दीवार होगी तो दीवार के ऊपर कुछ ऐसे ऐसे इंडिकेशंस आते हैं, लाइंस आते हैं, दैट इज नथिंग बट द इंडिकेशन ऑफ ए समथिंग डैमेज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है, वो सडन फेल होता है, जैसे कि जो स्ट्रक्चर्स वगैरह रहते हैं वो. सो देयर इज अ वैल्यू related to the modulus of elasticity for cement paste and also hard concrete. ठीक है, सीमेंट पेस्ट का जो रहता है उसका वैल्यू रहता है अराउंड 10 to 30 GPa. GPa इज नथिंग बट द गीगा पास्कल. ठीक है, GPa इज नथिंग बट द गीगा पास्कल. गीगा पास्कल यानी कि हाउ मच? 10 to the power, मेगा पास्कल मींस 10 to the power 6. गीगा पास्कल मींस हाउ मच? reply in the chat box. Gigapascal means how much? Megapascal, gigapascal, terapascal. Because sometimes what happens when you solve the problem related to the strength of a material, the value is given in a gigapascal. So you have to convert from gigapascal to megapascal. So what is the conversion? Gigapascal means how much? 10 to the power 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. How much? क्विकली बताइए जल्दी. 10 टू द पावर क्या होगा? 3 होगा, 6 होगा, 9 होगा, या फिर 12 होगा, या फिर 15 होगा? चलो बताओ जल्दी. 10 to the power 9. Any other? Any other? I got the answer from Karan. 10 to the power 9. Nidish Borkar, 10 to the power 6. Any other answer? Quickly. 10 to the power 9. Okay. Any other answer? 10 to the power 9. Karan and Jagruti saying 10 to the power 9. Vanshika 10 to the power 9. Any other answer? 10 to the power 3 or 10 to the power 12? I have given you 5 options: 10 to the power 3, 9, 6, 12 and 15. Which one is the correct one? So majority, means I got the 4 answer. Prajwal Kamdi 10 to the power 6, Smruti 10 to the power 9. Any other? Any other? Any other answer? 10 to the power 3 or 10 to the power 12? Okay, your value of the gigapascal means 10 to the power 9. Okay, so megapascal means 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power 3 means kilopascal. Okay, 10 to the power 3, that is nothing but the kilopascal. 10 to the power 6, that is nothing but the megapascal, and 10 to the power 9, that is nothing but the gigapascal. And 10 to the power 12. Okay, 10 to the power 12, that is nothing but the terapascal. Okay, 10 to the power 12, that is nothing but the terapascal. ये आपको याद रखना है because sometimes the value of modulus of elasticity for material, that is steel के लिए अलग रहता है, concrete के लिए अलग रहता है, aluminum के लिए अलग रहता है, brass के लिए अलग रहता है, copper के लिए अलग रहता है. अगर आपने टेम्परेचर स्ट्रेसेस के प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किए होंगे तो उस प्रॉब्लम में ऐसे वैल्यू दी रहती है ताकि आपको कन्वर्शन करना पड़े. आपको 10 टू द पावर 6 में न्यूटन पर mm स्क्वायर में आपको जो मटेरियल रहता है उसका जो सेम यूनिट रहता है सेम वैल्यू में को यूज करना रहता है. सो इन दैट केस दैट गीगापास्कल, मेगापास्कल, टेरापास्कल इज यूजफुल. ओके, देन द इलास्टिक मॉडुलस ऑफ हार्डन सीमेंट पेस्ट. ठीक है, हार्डन सीमेंट पेस्ट का वैल्यू रहता है 10 to 30 GPa एंड दैट टू एग्रीगेट इज बिटवीन 45 to 85 GPa. हमें पता ही है कि एग्रीगेट थोड़े हार्ड रहते हैं, तो उसकी वजह से जो उसका वैल्यू है वो भी ज्यादा रहता है. So that value is ranging from 45 to 85 GPa depending upon the quality of a material, or quality of a aggregate. Okay, then we want concrete. Concrete के लिए कितना रहता है? Hard concrete. Concrete तो definitely है. So it is having the modulus of elasticity varying between 30 to 50 GPa. ठीक है, 30 to 50 GPa. GPa that is nothing but the gigapascal. ये आपको याद रखना है. सीमेंट, हार्ड सीमेंट पेस्ट का वैल्यू रहता है 10 to 30 और कंक्रीट क्या रहता है 50 अप टू 50, दैट इज 30 to 50. और जो एग्रीगेट रहता है, एग्रीगेट का वैल्यू रहता है 45 to 85 GPa. Okay, so that was totally related to the modulus of elasticity. And the next part is a Poisson's ratio. Poisson's ratio also you have studied, I think you have studied in strength of a material. पढ़ा है या नहीं पढ़ा है? ये Poisson's ratio आपने पढ़ा है या नहीं पढ़ा है? बताइए चैट बॉक्स में. Poisson's ratio. Yes, पढ़ा है. Okay, good. Thank you. So what is the symbol? What is the symbol to represent the Poisson's ratio? Mu. Okay, 1 by m is again there. You can represent by 1 by m also. That is nothing but the Poisson's ratio. Okay. So can you tell me the value of Poisson's ratio? What is the maximum value of Poisson's ratio? Maximum value of Poisson's ratio. Anybody is having any idea related to the value of Poisson's ratio? कितना हो सकता है? Below 1. Below 1, definitely the value of Poisson's ratio should be always less than 1. ठीक है, ये 0.3 से आप ज्यादा नहीं यूज कर सकते, उसके लिए भी करना है. ठीक है, देखते हैं भी प्रेजेंटेशन में. So Poisson's ratio can be defined as the ratio of the lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. Okay, Poisson's ratio can be defined as the ratio of the lateral strain to the longitudinal strain, and it is nothing but the measures of a deformation of the material. ठीक है, it is nothing but the measures of deformation of a material. Material चलो ठीक है. It can be defined as the ratio of the measures to the deformation in the material in the direction perpendicular to the direction of the applied force. Direction perpendicular to the direction of the applied force में क्या होगा कि let us consider that you are having this material. ठीक है, let us consider that you are having this particular material having the length of, let us consider that the 20 centimeter or 25 centimeter. अच्छी तरीके से मैं पकड़ लेता हूँ ताकि आपको जो डिफॉर्मेशन है, डिफॉर्मेशन आपको अच्छी तरीके से समझ में आ जाएगा क्या होता है डिफॉर्मेशन। ठीक है, सो दिस इज द मटेरियल विच आई एम हैविंग। द मटेरियल इज हैविंग अ लेंथ ऑफ अराउंड 40 सेंटीमीटर। ठीक है, तो जब आप फोर्स अप्लाई करते हो, ठीक है, जब आप फोर्स अप्लाई करते हो, डेफिनेटली आई विल अप्लाई टेंसाइल फोर्स। टेंसाइल फोर्स इज नथिंग बट द पुलिंग फोर्स। सो आई विल पुल दिस पर्टिकुलर मटेरियल फ्रॉम बोथ द साइड। इसको ऑब्जर्व करो आप, जैसे ही मैं इसको पुल करता हूं तो क्या होगा कि इसका जो लेंथ है ना, वो लेंथ ये पहले इनिशियली 40 सेंटीमीटर है। द मोमेंट आई पुल इट फ्रॉम बोथ द डायरेक्शन और फ्रॉम बोथ द साइड, तो इसका ये इलोंगेशन होगा। इलोंगेशन होगा यानी कि क्या होगा, लेंथ में उसका बढ़ेगा। द मोमेंट इट्स लेंथ इंक्रीज, ठीक है, जैसे इसका जो लेंथ बढ़ता है, एट द सेम टाइम देयर इज अ डिक्रीज इन द विड्थ एंड डेप्थ। ठीक है, सो पॉइजन्स रेशियो वही होता है कि जब आप किसी चीज को खींचते हो तो डेफिनेटली एक पार्ट तो बढ़ता है लेकिन दो पार्ट उसके कम होते हैं। इफ यू कंसिडर एनी ऑफ द रेक्टेंगुलर स्पेसिमन हैविंग द विड्थ ऑफ ए 10 सेंटीमीटर, डेप्थ ऑफ ए 20 सेंटीमीटर एंड लेंथ ऑफ ए 50 सेंटीमीटर, डेफिनेटली द लेंथ विल गेट इंक्रीज्ड। वो 50 की जगह 55 होगा, 56 होगा, 57 होगा, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द रिक्वायर्ड अप्लाइड फोर्स। Whereas the width, which was of a 10 centimeter, will be definitely up to the 8 centimeter or 8.5 or maybe of a 9. Whereas the depth, which is originally 20. So because of that pulling, क्योंकि एक तो डेफिनेटली बढ़ेगा लेकिन जो दो उसके जो पार्ट से कम, जो करस्पॉन्डिंग पार्ट से वो कम होंगे। So that is related with the Poisson's ratio. So it is nothing but the measures the deformation in the material in the direction perpendicular to the direction of the applied force। यानी कि मेरा डायरेक्शन क्या है अप्लाइड फोर्स का, हॉरिजॉन्टल है। ठीक है, मेरा जो डायरेक्शन है अप्लाइड फोर्स का हॉरिजॉन्टल है। हॉरिजॉन्टल फोर्स में जो परपेंडिकुलर जो हो रहा है डिफॉर्मेशन, सो दैट इज रिलेटेड टू द पॉइजन्स रेशियो। Essentially, Poisson's ratio is one of the measure of a rock strength that is another critical rock property related to the closure stress। यानी कि जो पॉइजन रेशियो हम इसमें भी डील कर सकते हैं कि जो रॉक प्रॉपर्टी है जो उसका स्ट्रेंथ रहता है। ठीक है, सो वी कैन रिलेट टू इट। So Poisson's ratio is a dimensionless because it is the ratio of the same entity like strain। Strain क्या रहता है, ratio of the change in dimension to the original dimension। यहाँ पे भी वही है, lateral strain upon longitudinal strain, lateral strain upon longitudinal strain। So Poisson's ratio is a dimensionless quantity and the value is ranging between 0.1 to 0.45। ठीक है, the value of Poisson's ratio is always less than 1। ठीक है, always less than 1, क्योंकि उसका जो डिनोमिनेटर है वो ज्यादा रहता है न्यूमरेटर से। ठीक है, तो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर द वैल्यू, द रेंज। यू डोंट हैव टू रिमेंबर द एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू बिकॉज व्हेन यू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम in which the Poisson's ratio will be given to you, so you can adopt that value, given value, or suppose in the problem you don't have the Poisson's ratio value। ठीक है, फिर आप अगर वहां पे लिखा है कि assume the Poisson's ratio, so you can assume 0.25 to 0.3। okay, the range between 0.1 to 0.45। so this is the diagram which can explain the Poisson's ratio properly। see this is the material, which I pulled it। ठीक है, this was the original। ये जो है अगर यहाँ से मैं अगर लाइन ड्रॉ करता हूँ यहाँ से यहाँ तक और फिर यहाँ से यहाँ तक, so that was the original condition of the particular material। उसके बाद क्या होगा कि when I apply the force, सो फोर्स अप्लाई करने के बाद क्या होगा कि जो मटेरियल यहाँ पे था, ये जो मटेरियल ओरिजिनल मटेरियल यहाँ पे था, तो इसका जो लेंथ है वो बढ़ गया है। ये जो पार्ट है ये डॉटेड लाइन से यहाँ तक और ये डॉटेड लाइन से यहाँ तक, सो दैट इज नथिंग बट द इंक्रीज पार्ट डेल एल। और जो उसका जो विड्थ था, आप देखिए यहाँ पे विड्थ वो कम हो गया है, या फिर आपको डेप्थ भी कह सकते हो बिकॉज इट इज अ टू डायमेंशनल फिगर। सो दिस इज नथिंग बट द डेप्थ और यू कैन से द हाइट विच वाज रिड्यूस्ड। तो क्योंकि एक पार्ट बढ़ेगा तो डेफिनेटली दूसरा पार्ट तो कम होगा ही। अगर आपको 3 डायमेंशनल व्यू में अगर आप देखते हो तो उसका जो लेंथ है वो बढ़ेगा, विड्थ एंड डेप्थ है वो आपका कम होगा। सो Poisson's ratio it can be defined as the ratio of the lateral strain to the longitudinal strain and always remember ये निगेटिव रहता है। ठीक है, ये निगेटिव रहता है, ये दो अपोजिट रहते हैं एक दूसरे से। ठीक है, now we'll see the history। Simon Poissons, who was a scientist, French mathematician and physicist, he has derived this Poisson's ratio। Fresh concrete can be regarded as a fluid। ठीक है, जो पॉइजन रेशियो उसका भी वैल्यू जो मैंने बताया 0.1 से लेके 0.45 तक, ठीक है। लेकिन अगर आप फ्लूइड अगर कंसिडर करते हो, ठीक है, तो फ्लूइड का वैल्यू थोड़ा ज्यादा रहता है। सो फ्रेश कंक्रीट एंड हार्ड कंक्रीट, ये दो कंडीशन रहते हैं कंक्रीट के। फ्रेश कंक्रीट के ऊपर हम वर्केबिलिटी चेक करते हैं, हार्ड कंक्रीट के ऊपर हम कंप्रेशन स्ट्रेंथ चेक करते हैं। सो वी कैन कंसिडर दैट द फ्रेश कंक्रीट एज अ fluid. It indicates that the Poisson's ratio for a concrete at a very early age, very early age यानी कि fresh है, तो उस केस में क्या रहेगा कि उसका जो Poisson's ratio का वैल्यू ज्यादा रहेगा, that is 0.5, but it cannot exceed the beyond 0.5, ठीक है, वो आपको याद रखना है। 0.1 से लेके 0.45 तक है, वो किसका है, 0.1 से लेके 0.45 तक पॉइजन रेशियो का ही वैल्यू है, ठीक है। लेकिन जब वो फ्लूइड रहता है यानी कि फ्रेश रहता है तो उसका वैल्यू कितना रहता है, 0.5, बट इट कैन नॉट बी मोर देन 0.5। द स्टैटिक पॉइजन रेशियो नॉर्मली फॉर हार्डन कॉन्क्रीट वेरीज बिटवीन 0.15 टू 0.25, ठीक है। जो हार्ड कॉन्क्रीट रहता है उसका जो वैल्यू रहता है दैट इज रेंजिंग फ्रॉम 0.15 टू 0.25, okay. And the Poissons, this was named after the French mathematician and physicist, that is Simon Poissons. Got it? Poisson's ratio can be defined as the ratio of the lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. Lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. The value of Poisson's ratio is always less than 1. Range is 0.1 to 0.45, but when the concrete is fresh, it can be considered as 0.5, but cannot be more than 0.5. The Poisson's ratio is required constant in engineering analysis for determining the stress and deflection. Stress क्या है अभी बताइए आप? What is stress? Mathematically, stress is defined as the ratio of the force upon area. Mathematically, stress can be defined as the ratio of the force upon area. What is deflection? Stress and deflection, these are nothing but the properties of a material. ठीक है? Stress क्या होता है? Force upon area. Deflection क्या होता है? अगर मैं एक एग्जाम्पल अगर कंसिडर करता हो, ठीक है, सो लेट अस कंसिडर दिस इज द मेटल और दिस इज द पीस, और यहाँ पे कुछ डिफ्लेक्शन होगा, ठीक है, डिफ्लेक्शन होगा सो दैट टूट जाएगा वो। इफ आई कंसिडर दिस मटेरियल एंड व्हेन अप्लाई द फोर्स, सो बिकॉज ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द फोर्स वो बेंड भी होगा, डिफ्लेक्शन भी होगा, ठीक है। सो दैट इज नथिंग बट द डिफ्लेक्शन, बेंडिंग। So stress and deflection are nothing but the properties of the metal, and Poisson's ratio is very, very important as far as the material is concerned. So why it is important? While designing the particular structure, designing of structures, it may be of a steel structure, it may be of a concrete structure, or it may be of a wood structure too. So it is a constant for determining the stress and deflection properties of a structure like a beam, plates, shell and rotating disc. आपको बीम तो पता होगा, that is a horizontal component part of structure. उसमें प्लेट्स भी रहते हैं, शेल्स भी रहते हैं। शेल्स यानी कि जो डोम रहता है, अगर आपने देखा होगा जो मंदिर रहता है, मंदिर या फिर जो क्या कहे उसको भी, मस्जिद, मस्जिद में रहता है डोम रहता है, ठीक है, डोम, उसमें भी शेल भी रहते हैं, ठीक है। सो व्हाइल डिजाइनिंग दैट शेल, सो द वैल्यू ऑफ पॉइसन रेशियो इज अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट। प्लेट्स भी रहते हैं एंड रोटेटिंग डिस्क, ओके। सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द Poisson's ratio. It can be defined as the ratio of the longitudinal lateral strain, lateral to the longitudinal, value ranging from 0.1 to 0.45. अगर फ्लूइड है तो फ्लूइड के लिए 0.5, 0.5 से ज्यादा नहीं रहेगा। Poisson's ratio का यूज क्या है? स्ट्रेस एंड डिफ्लेक्शन में यूजफुल होता है, किसमें? जब हम स्ट्रक्चर की प्रॉपर्टीज डिजाइन करते हैं, जब स्ट्रक्चर का डिजाइन करते हैं तब, okay. And the next part is hardened concrete, the test which we have to perform on a hardened concrete. Here I have written DT and NDT. DT is nothing but the direct test and NDT is nothing but the non-destructive test. Okay, so these are the various tests which one can perform on a hardened concrete starting from compressive strength. ये तो बहुत ही common चीज है, जैसे कि वर्केबिलिटी चेक करने के लिए हम स्लम कोन टेस्ट परफॉर्म करते हैं। In the same way, for hardened concrete, the very, very important test is a compressive strength test. Okay, it is, that's why written is the most common, that is DT, that is nothing but the direct test, directly आप perform कर सकते हो। Second test है modulus of elasticity, that is again NDT, that is non-destructive testing. NDT is nothing but the part of a this is a rebound hammer test and penetration resistance test and ultrasonic pulse velocity test. ठीक है। सेकंड टेस्ट है स्प्लिट टेंशन टेस्ट, ये मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया है ऑलरेडी. फ्लेक्सुरल स्ट्रेंथ टेस्ट, दैट इज 1 point लोडिंग एंड 2 point लोडिंग, दैट्स व्हाई आई हाइलाइटेड दिस टू टेस्ट. Rebound hammer test, penetration resistance test, ultrasonic pulse velocity test, and maturity test. So these are the 8 tests which we can perform on a hardened concrete. ये 8 में से 2 मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन किया है. ये अल्ट्रासोनिक टेस्ट, रिबाउंड हैमर टेस्ट एंड पेनिट्रेशन टेस्ट, ये मैं आपको बाद में एक्सप्लेन करूंगा. Tomorrow there is a practical session, so tomorrow you will have your environment practical. I'm having a class on Saturday, so Saturday I will take this compressive strength test, okay, in detail. So that's it for today's session. So today we have learned modulus of elasticity and Poisson's ratio in detail with their values, with their importance in steel and concrete. So I hope you understood today's topic. If you have any difficulty related to the today's topic, then we'll have a discussion. If you have any difficulty, any doubt related to the today's session, then you can ask me, or you can type your queries or doubts in a chat box. You type your queries, your questions. Till that, I am taking the attendance. Today's date is 24. Bhushan Banode has left now. Your questions? Amul, Aniket, Ayush. Amul, Aniket, Ayush. Then Bhushan. Bhushan. Then Chaitanya. Darshan. Chaitanya. Darshan. Chaitanya, you was absent in the last class. Gauri. Jagruti. Then Gunjan, Harshal. Gunjan, Harshal, Karan, Meru. Karan, Meru. Mrudul. Then Mustafa, Nidish. Mustafa, Nidish. Prajwal, both Prajwal. Both Prajwal. Then Prathamesh. Then Rohan. 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 Then Sakshi, Saili. Sakshi, Saili, Smriti. Is there Shantanu, Shaurya? Shantanu, Shaurya. Subodh, Sudhanshu, Tejas. Subodh, Sudhanshu, Tejas. वैभव, वैभव, देन वैष्णवी, वैष्णवी, विशाखा, वंशिका, देन यश, यश मेशा, yeah, any difficulty, any doubt related to today's session? Any difficulty, any doubt related to today's session? If you have, you can ask me. See, I have uploaded the practical manual on the Moodle. I have uploaded the practical manual on the Moodle. You can go through it. Okay, all 8 practicals are uploaded. Also, the PPTs of Unit 1, Unit 2, and also Unit 3, whatever the syllabus I have got up till now, all those are uploaded. Notes of Unit 1 are all also uploaded. See, the notes are different and the PPTs are different. Means different means what? You will get more precise notes ऑफ यूनिट 1 रादर देन द पीपीटी। पीपीटी में मैं कुछ जो इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स रहते हैं वही मैं लिखता हूँ, कवर करता हूँ, और कुछ चीजें मैं ड्यूरिंग माई क्लास मैं बताता हूँ। आपको नोट्स में पूरे मिल जाएंगे डिटेल्स में, ठीक है। उसके बाद यूनिट 2 के नोट्स में कल अपलोड कर दूंगा। यू कैन चेक द मूडल, ओके। देन एनी अदर? नहीं है। Okay, fine. Then you can leave the session. I'm ending this meeting. Thank you.